You win this battle, man, I'll soon be dead. I'll glue your face to my dick so I can fuck with your head. I got metaphors coming through my pores. You probably never been in a battle before, so I hope you realize your mistake. There ain't no party, got some candles, this won't be a piece of cake. Put your fake.
Ilya, I have full confidence that if all do their duty, if nothing is neglected, and if the best arrangements are made as they are being made,
I don't know what the
we
I
shall
don't know what is this
prove
patent?
ourselves
Who is that?
once more able to
I don't know
defend our island home,
Our island home?
to ride out the storm of war,
Whose island?
and to outlive the menace of
oh,
tyranny.
that's Churchill. It's gotta be
It
Churchill,
is.
obviously. Island, obviously.
I was
trying to think, like, when did the Aruba go to war? The island.
Do you know Guam was also attacked during Pearl Harbor? They're like the Jan Brady of the Pearl Harbor attack.
That makes sense. In the Pacific Theater. I like that they call it the theater.
Yeah.
Makes it sound a little more lively than just global war.
Folks, if I was there, I would ask for my money back, huh? Just joking around. Hey, Maxim, can we turn off the monitor so I stop looking at my reflection? I
It'd be
forgot
funny
to
if you
ask
had-
you. I'm sorry.
What about this as a character? A guy whose grandfather's trying to tell him a story about being in the war, and he's like, I was in the Pacific Theater. He's like, gay.
Yeah.
And he just calls his grandfather gay.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's a thing.
Well, hey, listen, I started off the podcast as whimsically as I could, but we should really talk about...
nothing more whimsical than Churchill trying to rally the forces.
I think it's nice. We have to talk about the events of the last few weeks. It's actually the first time we've recorded since I have started listening to a new podcast.
Oh, what did you listen to?
Isn't that cool?
What did you listen to?
It's called The Prosecutors.
Oh, I haven't listened to it much, but I know it's like the guy who's on Rogan all the time, like the Josh, isn't he? Like the lawyer? Josh Rubin guy, isn't it?
I don't know his name, nor do I know if he has been on Rogan.
Have you listened to the podcast?
I have.
And what is it about for you?
It is, so I'm only listening so far to their 14th part series about Adnan
Syed. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was also popular serialized in the podcast called Serial like 10 years ago.
Yeah, so I listened to Serial when it came out.
Yeah.
And I'm always like a little bit skeptical.
I was listening to Serial when I poured milk into the Rice Krispies. And
That's cute.
You ever do that? Listen to the popping?
Can I be controversial yet brave? I don't really eat cereal anymore, but when I did, I went in dry. Ooh, baby, I like it raw or like it dry.
That what Odie was singing about?
Yeah.
Eating cereal dry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to, as a kid, I'd be like a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios and I'd eat the bowl like with a spoon, dry.
Yeah.
No milk.
That's also why you insist on keeping women dry before
Yeah.
sex. You refuse any sort of lubrication.
Uh-huh.
Because you're tough like that.
I'm
You also swallow pills without water. You're a man's man. You dig bullets out of your arm with a knife. You don't cry.
Mm-hmm.
You're a tough dude.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this has been the before.
How do we
Hours
go?
podcast.
How do we lose energy then? It's been 3 minutes. It's been exactly 3
Guys,
minutes.
you're gonna want to fast
We ran
forward
out of
through this
steam so
one
quickly.
This one is gonna be a wash. We're doing a double. The next episode,
The next episode,
because this is basically a 1 hour warm up. I really encourage you to turn this off.
we should change the episode to vocal exercise, just so people
Yeah.
know, just so they don't have the
Ha
wrong
ha 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 ha
expectations.
ha. But yeah, I listened to Serial. I remember I would drive to and from paralegal school, ironically, and I am always skeptical of people being like, we're going to blow your mind. There's an innocent man in prison. I'm like, he got sent to prison. I think there might be a good chance he belongs there.
You're always skeptical. You're on the pro criminal justice is generally correct side.
I think the more time goes on, like, dude, a game changer, I would say, is DNA. You know what I mean? And there's actually no DNA in the Adnan case. But yeah, I lean towards, it's a bias. You have the bias in the other way. Here we are.
I also worked on an exoneration case a little bit, and I'm pretty familiar with the concept in general. And the Innocence Project only takes DNA cases, which is why they're so successful, because those cases are easier to crack. But the fact is, DNA only came into use like in the last 30 years. But the problem is, you still have cases from before then.
And the thing with the Adnan case, and this was evident decades ago when I listened to the Serial podcast, the murder happened in 1999.
Yeah.
You know how OJ, race, fame, all of that aside, another controversial moment of the OJ trial was DNA. What's that?
Yeah, exactly.
It was the early 90s. Now it's like, that's the first thing you think of. Well, where were people's DNA? Adnan Syed, that case was basically, what is cell phone ping towers?
Yeah.
What does that mean? It's fascinating because that's one of the things they talk about. They're like, if this case happened now, that part wouldn't have been as controversial as it was in 1999. It wasn't that controversial. It was more controversial when Serial started. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I lean towards he did it.
I'm just trying to think of like something funny to add to this section. Because I'm like, oh, just talking about another podcast that's covered it. And it's like, I'm trying to think of a joke and I got nothing.
Okay. I think he did it. And I
don't want to continue with it.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I don't remember the facts of it. He was like, he's brown. The girl was Asian, and they said he killed her. And then is he out now, or is like
he's out, but his conviction is still here.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird, and I don't understand because they covered this too. I haven't got to like the post conviction stuff because there was constant like appeals and stuff. Went all the way to the Supreme Court and they refused to hear it. So I guess I should say it almost went all the way to the Supreme Court. And eventually they let him out and they were like, your conviction is vacated.
Yeah.
And then later they were like, actually your conviction stands, but since you would have been up for parole, just fuck it, stay out of prison, but you're still a convicted murderer.
Okay.
And he works, Adnan, he works for some kind of university, like Innocent, not the Innocence Project.
I know, but there's a lot of
like,
there's a lot of things like that. That's one in my law school, there was one called like the Last Resort Exoneration Project.
If he did do it, it is very funny that like even now that he's out of prison, he's like, what I am passionate about is getting innocent people out of prison. You know?
Yeah. Well, the West Memphis 3, they had to take an Alford plea to basically say, like, and the whole point of it is it inoculates the state from getting sued for anything. Basically, to say we concede that we're guilty, and then we'll and then we'll be set free. So it's a pretty bullshit thing, but technically they're not. I mean, they haven't really been fully. I don't think they've been fully exonerated, technically speaking.
I think at one point I knew what West Memphis 3 was.
Yeah,
but now I don't.
It was 3 kids from Arkansas. They were convicted of killing. Was it 2 or 3 boys? Like in the early '90s, it was like a whole satanic panic thing into the '90s, and like then Eddie Vedder and a bunch of like Henry Rollins, a bunch of people did like, charity work for their release.
And is it definitive they didn't do it? I mean, I know they took an Alford plea. And Alford plea, my understanding of Alford plea is like, listen, I didn't do it, but I understand
that you would have enough. You have enough to convict me. Yes, that's basically saying you have enough to convict me. But it's helpful in the sense like it helps people get out who shouldn't be in prison. But it's bullshit because the state doesn't have to take any accountability for what it did.
Now, so these kids didn't do it.
Yeah, they definitely didn't do it, but there's not concrete evidence about who did. But the problem is, again, that without DNA, there's a lot of other factors that go into why people get falsely exonerated or falsely convicted, and a lot of it's like what the prevailing science is that people know, bullshit testimony, like jailhouse informants, corrupt prosecutors. There's a lot of shit, different factors that affect the case.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by the whole process because I understand so little of it. I mean, I went to paralegal school, and even I'd be like,
I went to paralegal school.
Hey,
is that something?
Hell yeah, dude! Nice. What do they teach at paralegal school?
I think it's just what you call high. Well, that's what I call high school. Paralegal school.
And then you're like, yeah, I live near the paralegal school.
It's like, yeah.
Which actually, that's not even. That is illegal school.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the seniors, some of them are 18. What am I saying, folks? Stay away from high schools. You know what I thought of recently? Because I used to live near an elementary school.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I used to smoke weed around there as a weed smoking teenager.
Cool.
Isn't that cool? Not like so the children would see me. But I found this out like
So you would sneakily smoke weed in the vicinity of children?
within like a few blocks of them, just because that's also where woods were with it, which is actually a bad idea to put like the
Woods near children?
woods near children, right?
Yeah, I don't know why they put woods near children.
Or children near woods, as it were. But I learned later, I'm like, oh, and it's marijuana. It's not a big deal, even in the late 90s, early aughts. But if I had gotten caught, the penalty could be double because I was in a school zone.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? One time I was smoking weed with my friends in the woods. I forget if this was near the elementary school or not, but we were definitely in the woods, but like 3 or 4 of us in like a circle, you know, and we think we're far enough into the woods that no one's gonna like bother us.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's like 3 adults walking towards like men
Yeah.
with like, and they're like authoritatively sounding men.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And my buddy we have like, it's probably a handful of weed, which when you're 14, 15 is a lot of weed, right?
Yeah.
He takes all of it. It wasn't his, and ate it.
Nice.
And then those 3 guys were actually not police officers. They were construction workers.
Okay.
And they were like some weird thing where they were like passing by us to get to a construction site that was like, which now as an adult, I'm like, they fully didn't care that 14 and 15-year-olds were smoking pot,
No.
you know? And my buddy was like, what happens now that I ate all this weed? He was concerned that he was going to
Who'd you guys
high.
get pot from? Where'd you guys get it?
So we got it from, and if you asked me at the time, I would have described them as cool older kids. And now I know that they were fucking losers,
Okay.
right? Like 18, 19,
Okay.
selling pot to a 14, 15-year-old. You know what I mean? I loved smoking pot. When
Yeah.
I was 14 and 15 specifically, that's like all I cared about.
Okay.
I was playing guitar. I was smoking pot. I was hanging out with my friends. I was eating potato chips from a convenience store, dude.
Oh, chipped potatoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that cool, man?
That's fun.
But yeah, you don't strike me as a drug guy in his youth. Now I assume you eat it edible before bed.
No.
No, never?
I've gotten into mushrooms in like the last couple of years.
Right. You and Rich,
Which is
when you were
fun.
sitting on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
couch together, we're talking about doing some shrooms.
And then
as
we
the
started
kids
making
say.
out. It was a whole thing.
That was a thing.
But no, I was always too scared to do anything
Mhm.
like illegal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't a cool rebel like you.
Rebel without a cause. But now I simp for the prosecution, dude. Isn't it
You are a
funny?
little bit of a simp for the state.
Yeah.
It's like, they probably got the right guy.
I do think that. And I know that's like not cool or fun, but it is how I feel.
It runs contrary to your anti-authoritarianism.
Yeah.
It's like I don't like big government, but they get the criminals. They know what they're
Yeah.
doing.
If there's anything people know about me is that I'm an anti-authoritarian. You know, I was talking with a friend recently and I just kind of forgot who I was talking to. And I'll say who it is. It was Matt Marin, and he was also sitting in that chair a couple weeks ago. And he was talking about Gavin Newsom, right? And he's like, he's just an establishment guy. And I was like, he is. And then I realized some people, when they say establishment, it's not a compliment. But to me, I'm like, he's not a burn it down communist or fascist, which I think is
Oh.
great. You know what
So
I
you
mean?
think, okay, so you don't think of like status quo as like, you just think he's in the realm of like normal politics and not like one of the,
Within the Overton window.
he's not one of these uppity Browns who's trying to bring socialism to our fair city.
Yeah, or one of these uppity whites. Race is more important to you than it is to me. I noticed that.
And it's more important to me. I'm just trying to be funny somehow.
Yeah.
And I'm really going uphill right now.
Yeah, dude. Well, hey, you've had quite a couple of weeks because, and
Right.
I should
happened?
probably bring this up. If
Yeah.
I know you don't want me to bring it up,
I really don't.
but
I'd love it if you didn't.
this is the first time.
I would hate it if you brought it up.
This is the first time since
I'm
the last time we
I'm
recorded.
I'm not crazy about this.
In the interim between the last time we recorded and
also,
this time,
I'm okay with you prolonging the buildup as much as possible.
right? I
I
have
want to see how far we can
started.
stretch this out.
I have started
vamping.
watching
Yeah.
the 3rd season of The Sopranos.
The third season, I don't remember The Sopranos by season story arcs.
It's the one right before 9/11.
I don't remember. Was 9/11 a big story point on The Sopranos?
Oh yeah, season 4. It's like kind of all about that. Well, it's in the backdrop of every episode of.
Did one
Season
was one of the towers was secretly an FBI informant?
Yeah.
And the mob took it. Is that what happened?
Yeah,
The guy who doesn't understand how the mob or 9/11 work.
yeah, yeah. Jackie Jr. was building 7.
I was hoping you were going to say Jackie Chan.
Yeah. No, he not.
That'd
but
be fun.
I want to say.
Do you think Jackie Chan could have taken down the World Trade Center?
with like
I don't mean
one
like
kick.
did he? I mean like could he physically? Yeah.
So this is, I got to be honest with you. You're gonna have to explain the difference between Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee to me.
They're both Chinese performers. Well, Bruce Lee was like Chinese American. Jackie Chan is Chinese.
Chinese, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's
Legit
pretty cool.
Chinese.
All right.
And I'm not as familiar with Bruce Lee. Jackie Chan is much more impressive to me.
Mhm. He did disown his lesbian daughter, which I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
If I had a lesbian daughter, I would want to watch. Just joking around, folks.
That's good stuff. No, but he did definitely disown. But
most dishonorable.
But he has like
Mr.
other
Chan.
children, right? That he's cool with.
Is Jackie Chan related to Chris Chan? Be honest.
No, my understanding of who Chris Chan is that they're not related.
Okay. Yeah. Christine Chan. I apologize.
Oh yeah, I don't want.
would never want
dead name. I don't know enough about it, but like, there's that weird of like section of like the internet of like through Cumtown that you hear like. And you hear this stuff, and just it's almost like my mind rejects any comprehension of how it actually works.
Right.
Like I can't immerse myself in it.
Well, Chris Chan came up with fan fiction, and it was what if Sonic and Pikachu were one person, and it's Sonichu. You get it?
Okay.
Pikachu, Sonic, Sonichu, right? And he
I like Pikasan better.
Pikasan might have been
Better name.
although be careful, dude,
Well,
because Christine, however they identify now, they're real sensitive
yeah.
about not slighting Sonic, because Sonic came out with a new video game, and an adult Christine Chan went to the GameStop with a blue color pencil to correct an error that they made on the cover of the new Sonic game.
My wife and I did bar trivia last night, and one of the questions was about like what the like failed Sega console was after the Genesis or something.
Okay.
And it was the Saturn, the Sega Saturn.
No recollection.
The name sounds familiar, but I don't remember it from the 90s.
The first game console that I played, I was
our team name was Charlie Kirk's Ghost, but no one left. The ghost, every time he does the points thing at the end, he would say it, and I kept waiting for like someone to think it was cool, but no one cared.
Aw. It would have been cool if you had George Floyd's Ghost there too.
Yeah, there's a black woman next to us. She kept like exaggeratedly getting like all the questions wrong. Like one of the questions was like, which alcohol brand is famous for having its bottles dipped in red wax? And we're in a bar,
Yeah.
so she could have looked across, and the guys at Maker's Mark are just like, ah. She had so many. She didn't know any of the answers. It was hilarious. I'm not saying black people are not capable of doing well at bar trivia, but I'm just saying this lady was not having an easy night of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember one time in college, actually, we were playing trivia, and I got an answer right, and I forget how the question was
There's
actually.
the age of consent.
Yeah.
Random
In
states.
specific states.
Is
Yeah.
the name of the age of consent in every contiguous state of the United
Yeah.
States?
But actually, I was getting them all wrong because I was saying 14 the whole time.
You're saying 14 with your fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say I was manifesting, but no, the answer was Kerplunk. It was what was Green Day's
Second album. Well, actually, first full album, but the first album.
yeah, that's why I can't
compilation.
remember. I guess it was like it must have been what was the one before Dookie,
Yeah.
or what was the one before they were mainstream.
Yeah,
Because how would you get to the answer Kerplunk? But it was Kerplunk,
yeah,
and I knew it. Pretty cool, right?
yeah.
Dude, I was obsessed with like Green Day back in the day.
Yeah.
Because they seemed they were kind of cool and kind of edgy, but like accessible. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Suburban.
that's why they were super phenomenally successful.
Yeah.
It's because they were a much more like accessible and also just more sort of musically talented, like in terms of actual songwriting,
Yeah.
than like other bands that they were sort of coming up with.
Mm-hmm. You know, I could hear some of the songs that were on Dookie at Gilman Street. I found an old YouTube video.
Yeah.
And there's a I think it's only audio actually of Billy Joe singing "When I Come Around" at Gilman,
Yeah.
and no one's singing along because no
This
one
was
knows
before
it
this.
yet.
Yeah. It's like that. There's a video of like Nirvana playing like "Smells Like Teen Spirit" for the first time in like I think it's like a record store or like some small club.
Mhm.
It's like it's pretty cool.
There's an old video, and it's It's like in January of 1999, which is actually when Heyman Lee was killed too by Adnan Syed, allegedly. I guess
I'm glad you explained who that was. I was like, who the fuck's Heyman Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, in January, Eminem is performing at this like kind of club in New York City, and this is like a month before My Name Is hits the radio.
Yeah.
And it has the vibe of like, you know, you and I have done these bad comedy shows where the energy's not quite there.
Yeah.
And they're performing their asses off, and people are kind of after each song. They're like, you know, and then My Name Is comes on. It's before it came out as a single, but for whatever reason, Marshall's like, I know y'all know this one. Hi, my name is, and he puts the mic out. Almost nobody. You heard like a few people say it.
That's fun.
I'm like, yeah. And then like a few weeks later, it was like everybody.
I always wonder, like, that's the risk you take as a band, is like doing the call and response. I saw the video of like Green Day played Coachella this year, and it was just not a like Green Day crowd. Because like when they play Welcome to Paradise, like they stopped to have the people do the chorus Welcome to Paradise.
Yeah.
But like it just wasn't enough people for how big the venue was.
Yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, this is just not their crowd.
Welcome to Paradise, by the way, if that came out now, people would like clown on it, because the lyrics are basically, I am white from the suburbs.
And I moved to a scary neighborhood.
Yeah. And then
it's dangerous.
My favorite part of that song is he goes, and I'm never going to go. And then narrator voice, a year later, he went.
What?
He had gone.
He
I
went?
used to teach English. Isn't that crazy?
Did you?
Yeah.
How many jobs have you had? What kind of like
I've had
fucking
so many
traveling
jobs. Yeah.
Yeah. What you used to teach English, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, is this when we were overseas?
When I was in Prague.
This is when you're stationed in Prague.
When I was stationed, yeah. Yeah. I wasn't very good at it. I think I was like, I'm gregarious, and I have I think a fairly neutral American accent. And
it's not like an obscure like hillbilly or like Massachusetts, like nothing that foreigners would have. I like to say we just speak properly. That everyone can understand us.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Yes. I don't know. It's kind of when I was in Scotland, the way they said pizza made
the way they said what?
Pizza.
Pizza?
Guess what that is?
What? It sounds like you're trying to say pizza, but not.
Well, that's how Scottish people say pizza.
Is it how they say pizza?
Pizza. I'm sure this is Googleable. Like folks at home.
We should say that in a Scottish accent. Googleable. That sounds great in the Scottish lilt.
You know, it was weird because a friend of mine, a fellow comedian, Mark. Fellow Canadian. No, my friend Mark, who is a comedian, may he live forever. He and I were in Scotland together, right? And this would happen pretty regularly. So Fringe, we would sell tickets, but most of the people that would come to our shows, we would just pull off the street, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you get like these tourists, you know, but sometimes you get like these Scottish lads and they're wasted and they want to like talk with the American comedians. But like Mark and I, dare I say, aren't like alpha.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they would be like these young Scottish lads that would kind of want to like take the piss, as they'd say.
Yeah.
They want to fuck with us a little bit. And the rhythm of our interactions would be they would make fun of us and we would make fun of them back, and they'd be like, you're all right, you know?
Okay.
But it was this weird sort of thing. And usually it was this like, we had to sort of be jokey around with them, but at any point they could start like punching us.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Because like, I don't know, we're two guys on the street. There are some drunk people on the street, usually more than two of them. You know, it's Europe, so they don't have guns, but still, it was a little.
But they stab each other quite a bit. They'll break a pint glass and cut you with it.
Glassing.
Yeah,
but pizza, I'm like, that was one where someone's like, I'm going to grab some pizza. And I was like, oh, what Scottish dish
it sounds
is
like
that?
Forrest Gump saying pizza the way you're doing it.
Yeah, it does. Well, there are some similarities between Scotland and Northern England and the south of the U.S.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's where like they get that's like when people think of like the way of like that, like grammar or whatever. It's from like a like kind of Cockney, almost like.
Yeah.
Well, not Cockney. I guess you're talking about Northern. But yeah, that's like when like weeby, like the way to say, I thought it was like a Thomas Sowell thing. It's like the way like black people say like use a verbalize or conjugate it comes from the way they do it.
Thomas Sowell wrote white liberals and black rednecks, or it might be the other way around. And no, folks, I haven't read the book, but I've read a summary of the book. And he basically,
And you have footnotes tattooed onto your arm.
yeah,
Why are you doing that?
but yeah, and I don't know why this is, but the north of England and Scotland primarily moved when they moved to the U.S. to the southern part of the U.S. and then like the area around London, they moved to the northeast. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because, and I don't even know if this is true, that Scotland and the north of England back then was more agrarian. So they were like, let's move to another agrarian place, like start our own farm. That's what we know how to do. I don't know. But yeah, basically like that's this whole thing is, the Southern whites got their culture from like the Scots, Irish / Northern English, and us Northeasterners got our culture from like people in and around London.
Yeah.
And then the post-Reconstruction diaspora. That's why like, you know, there's a lot of similarities between Black Americans and white Southerners for that reason. It's an interesting theory. It's not anything I know anything about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just dipped your toe into it.
I dipped my toes in it, as it were. But he's one of those interesting guys, but he's like pretty far to the right. I mean, he's like super libertarian.
Yeah.
Until you talk about like the military. He's
Yeah.
one of those guys. And I know so little about economics, but to me, where he's like, oh, the welfare state is like always bad. That's why it's bad. That's why like basically single motherhood in the Black community rose in the 60s because of the welfare state. And I'm like, that could all be true, but also I feel like there has to be more than one element to like cause the situation that we're in now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm always super skeptical when someone's like, here's the one reason.
Yeah.
And it aligns with how I feel politically.
Oh. That's how I know they're right. Because like it aligns with what I'm already thinking.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
gotta be the right way.
Dude, I miss being younger where I was just like,
Smoking pot in your children.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Must miss that.
But you know, maybe you're different because you're smarter than me. But like,
Probably.
When I was young, I was like so sure about stuff, and like the older I get, I'm like, I actually don't know anything. You know?
I'm in the position of like I'm like a smart, educated person, but I'm very willfully ignorant of things. Like I just don't bother to pay attention to new stuff. Like I can bullshit. I think I could bullshit my way through a conversation with almost anyone on any subject. Like I think I know enough generally to, and I think it's like kind of comic brain where you just like we have random information like that we know about. Like I'm not a theoretical physicist, but I could bullshit like a conversation and come up with intelligent questions to ask someone who like that kind of thing. But if I'm talking honestly about a subject, I'm like, I really don't actually know the facts about this one.
You know what's hilarious is you and I are very different because you're like, I'm a very smart guy, but I don't care to know most things. Yeah. And I'm like, I like,
and you're like, I like pot. And
yeah.
That's
no, I really like, I want to know a lot of stuff. I'm intellectually curious, but not so intellectual.
You're intellectually bi-curious.
I'm intellectually bi-curious.
I don't know what that would mean, but it's fun.
Yeah, like I want to know stuff, but I could feel the ceiling in my IQ whenever I'm like looking into things.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I always, I actually feel lucky that as a junior or senior in undergrad, I was like, oh, I can't be a lawyer.
Nice.
I'm glad I figured that out before I spent the ungodly amount of money to like then, you know, have to drop out of law school.
I do envy the dumb like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Must be nice to just go through life like everything's fun. That's why you're always smiling, because you're too dumb to appreciate how miserable the world is.
Yeah. I don't think you're wrong. I do fall into periods of like, oh, we're in a pretty bad situation, but what can I do about it? You know what I mean?
That's fun. Do you find that futility is like alleviates the stress on you, or you don't find it more hopeless?
I mean, when I came to the conclusion there's no free will, you can't really stay mad at someone for more than as long as your heart is raised. You know what I mean? Like when someone almost hits me with a bike, I'm like, oh. And then as soon as I'm like, okay, I haven't been hit by a bike, my heart rate returns to normal. I'm like,
I'm trying to imagine you getting violently assaulted by a gang of people and convincing yourself that you're not mad about the situation.
Yeah. I'm like,
I get you guys have to do this for some reason. You didn't really your choice.
Yeah.
Please stop hurting.
I think that would piss them off. If I remove their agency while they're doing it, might make it worse.
Maybe or for the first time they really thought about it, and maybe you might change the course of their life.
Yeah.
I was watching the docu-series about John Wayne Gacy on Peacock.
The clown killer.
That's what they call him. It's very unfair to clowns. He never killed anyone while dressed as a clown. He was just a guy who happened to be a clown sometimes. That'd be like saying, "Oh, the KFC killer," because he managed a KFC. It's like, okay, sure.
I think serial killers are a lot like comedians. Actually, you have to have a hook. You know what I mean? And John Wayne Gacy, you can't just be like guy that killed and raped and killed like 30 boys or whatever.
I think he might have done the inverse too sometimes, possibly. I think he might have fucked up a couple of dead bodies.
Necrophilia to me.
That's where you draw the line.
That's where I draw the line. If there are any,
that's where you draw the line in the sand, and then you take up from under there.
Yeah. So tell me about John Wayne Gacy. What'd you learn?
Good dude.
Yeah.
No, he's just not a good dude. But I mean, I've already known him. He had like 30 something bodies buried under his house, which is just so many bodies. That's exhausting, I would think.
Yeah, a lot of uptake.
He kept like killing young boys and then hiring new boys to dig stuff under his house for like, oh, it's an irrigation thing or something, and then he'd end up killing boys and putting them there. It's a real like factory system of killing young dudes.
My man should have just started fishing.
Yeah, you think that was? Well, he did go to a river, and then but that was to drop off some bodies towards the end.
Yeah,
because he ran out of space in the crawl space.
I wonder if
what do you think the average time we spent on a single subject at any given point on this podcast is?
It could be
like if you were to like do like on YouTube videos, you could do the chronology of all the timestamps.
Spotify does that automatically.
Does it?
And
are we on Spotify?
Yes.
I should check that out sometime.
Yeah, guys, if you leave us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and in that 5-star review, you leave a question for Elia, myself, or both of us, we'll answer it on the podcast.
Okay. How are we doing on Spotify? What are our numbers?
Dude, you would not imagine. We're taking off on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. We're even taking off on public access radio.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's fun.
Yeah, I put all our podcasts, dare I say, videos on public access videos, right, on like the channel. And I get like some old people calling me. And it's actually not related to the podcast at all. They just want tech support.
Oh, that's fun.
They want to know how to cancel the public access subscription.
Oh, they hate it that much.
They hate us so much. That's how the Whitest Kids You Know got started.
Is it?
They had a sketch show on public access radio, and then they got kicked off because they had a sketch in a nursing home, and the sketch was called "I Wonder Who Died Today."
That's fun.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
People forget, dude. Trevor Moore, R.I.P. to a real one. The first sketch in the first season, like literally the pilot, the first sketch in the pilot is the Hitler rap where he's dressed as Hitler.
Oh.
My name is A and I'm back in command because I'm the brother representing Deutschland. Reich 1, Reich 2, Reich 3. That's me, the mastermind behind World War 3. No 2, that is. My bad. Started over. It's a great bit.
I'm sure it's great.
It's only a bit. That
I know what it is, but I just haven't watched it and I don't care.
It can only happen in like 2005 or 6 or whenever it happened. Yeah. I think even a few years later, people will be like, well, what the fuck? Because the bit is basically like, what if Hitler rapped? It's not satire on anti-Semitism. It's not, oh, by the way, let's make this clear. Hitler was a bad guy. It was just like, what if Hitler rapped? That was the bit.
Okay.
Just how people felt in the early odds.
Yeah, things were different back then.
Yeah.
We weren't all touchy-feely.
Yeah, dude. And the touchy-feely people didn't annoy certain right-wing people that thought the best way to overcorrect was to become a fascist state. It's a really complicated time we're living in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? Shit in a shoe. My great-grandmother used to say that.
Shit in a shoe?
What are you going to do? Shit in a shoe.
Just the rhyme? Just like...
I don't know. Her parents were from Ireland and she was from Brooklyn. She had to say something.
Yeah.
You know, what would you do? Shit in a shoe. It's not the worst thing she said.
I can think of the worst thing. What's the second worst thing she said? So,
and this is a family story. I'm probably supposed to keep a secret, but I don't think any of my family listens to the podcast. So here we go. So my great grandmother, he was my dad's grandma, right? So let me set the scene. This takes place in the 1960s in New Jersey, North Jersey. And it's my dad, who's like a teenager, maybe a little bit younger, and his older sister, who had her friend over, and her friend is black.
Okay.
Right? So my dad's there, his mom's there, grandma's there, right? Grandma says hi to everybody, including the black friend. No issue there.
Okay.
The sister and the black friend go to another room. My dad is playing some sort of game with grandma, and grandma wants to decide who goes first. So she does.
Oh no.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah.
Now, catch a tiger by his toe. Ilya, I don't know if you know this. The tiger is a new modern character.
Yeah, he's a late addition.
He's a late addition. The catch a tiger by the toe. The character used to be an African-American man. Anyway, by the way, grandma saw the little black girl and said hello. No issues there. And then knows that she's in earshot and starts playing this game.
Yeah.
Now his mom runs in and goes,
No.
Yeah, literally
Slow
slow motion. Don't do
Catch
it.
it.
And literally was just like, stop, don't figure out a different way to find out who goes first.
Yeah.
And grandma's going, I don't
She's
understand.
like, okay, how about rock, paper, scissors?
Oh man, rock paper Jew, huh?
That's fun.
Don't throw the rocks at the Jews.
I have a similar story. My friend's, my wife's, one of her best friend, her husband. Like one day we were helping clear out my wife's parents' like house or whatever, and like we were just moving something around. He's just telling a random story, and he's like he like grew up in Texas. He's got like a pretty hick Texan kind of accent, like kind of rednecky kind of guy. He's not like hadn't really traveled much around. He's just simple guy.
Sure.
That sounds condescending, but whatever.
Well,
but anyway, he was,
Leonard Skinner wrote the song "Simple,
Simple
Man"
Man,
about him,
yeah.
basically.
before they were just trying to condescend to dumb people. But and he was just telling some story about something like buying a car, and then at some point in the middle, he was like, something sounds like, and he Jewed me down, and he looks up at me and it's like, oh man, I'm sorry. Like it just in that moment, it never occurred to him. It's like, oh, there's an actual Jew now in the room.
That's hilarious. He's like, but you understand where I'm coming from, right?
It's like, yeah, I got you. It's like, but seriously, what was his problem? Why was he? Yeah.
Well, I was an adult when I learned that. What is it? Jimmy Rig. Jimmy Rig.
I never heard Jimmy. I know what you're talking about. I've never heard it called Jimmy Rig. Is that thing?
Really?
Yeah.
Because what I was gonna say is when I was like an adult when someone told me, it was originally N-word rigged.
Okay, yeah.
And Jimmy Rigged was like a cleaned up version of that. But actually, I think it might come from Jim Crow. I don't know.
So I'm just trying. I'm in my head like it sounds like a fun spoonerism of like rigor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. That's fun.
Well,
it's almost like a child story level of just like fun wordplay.
Yeah. And then gypped comes from gypsy, right?
Yeah.
So if someone gypped you, it's like, oh, they cheated you, like a gypsy cheats somebody. Gypsy's a weird word though, because it's like the proper name for that ethnicity is Roma.
Yeah.
But you'll meet some Roma people.
They say gypsy. Yeah, that's what they say.
It's kind of like I don't know anyone that says I'm an indigenous American. I do know a few people that are like, I'm an Indian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of a weird one. But if you're not in that community, you should, until otherwise told, you should like err on the side of caution and be like, Roma.
Just casually bring it up and say, hey, it should be nice if we got some rain around here lately.
Yeah.
If only there's something any of us could do about it.
I found out recently that because I've never been out west or in the southeast on reservations.
Yeah.
I haven't been. There's not many in I think there's like a couple in New York State. I've never been
Too many as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. But they call it like the on the know. If you're of the know, you're gonna say on the res.
Okay.
I learned that recently. I think that's cool. On the res.
On the res?
Yeah.
Meaning you live on a reservation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going back to the res.
Back
Stuff
to the
like
res.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of crazy. There's this plot on The Sopranos where this guy who is ostensibly
Are you gonna bring up The Sopranos from now on?
That's what I've
as
been
long
watching.
as you keep rewatching.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay. Here's because I watched The Wire and The Sopranos during lockdown.
Had you seen them before?
No,
Really? Okay.
I actually, because when I was in college, I didn't really watch stuff post college, and then like early comedy, I was just like busy. You know what I mean? So I think if lockdown didn't happen, I actually, maybe by now I would have, but that was when I took the opportunity to. I'm like, okay, let me watch some of the movies that when you tell someone you haven't watched a particular movie, they're like, oh my god. I'm like, I have the time, and I'm not doing anything else. Let me watch like these 2 series that people like flip out when I tell them I haven't watched, and I'm glad I did. They're 2 of the best shows of all time.
Yeah.
Sopranos and Black Sopranos, The Wire.
Oh, that's
You know what I
unfair to The Wire.
Or maybe
A significantly
Sopranos
better show than Sopranos.
is oh, I remember you were like, a few episodes ago, you're not happy with how frequent a car accident happens.
Was a
in
major
Sopranos.
plot point
Yeah.
to like significant events, and
Mhm.
like doing it twice in the course of one show is ridiculous to me.
There's actually even more if you count the dream sequences in which there's a car accident.
Oh, really?
There's even more. Although you could argue like that might be a common
I'll say
dream
also
people have.
dream sequences by and large, I despise.
Really?
I think they're almost always kind of padding, like, or just a waste of time. I hate them so much.
You know what I like about the dream sequences in The Sopranos, though? What I'll say? 2 things. One, it gives you insight into Tony's state of
Because
mind.
they're dumb Italian dreams.
Yeah.
So
There's
it's just like-
gabagool.
Yeah. It's just fucking a hooker in a pool of marinara. It's
Yeah.
just dumb WAP dreams.
There's literally a scene where Tony is fucking a woman he wants to fuck while he's dressed as a Roman emperor.
Oh, yeah, I think I do remember that.
But it gives you insight into how he thinks, which is the whole premise of the show. Is like, here's a guy, he's going to a shrink. It's not your typical mob thing. We're gonna delve
the basic
into.
premise of the show is like, what if you ever met Italian people? And that's it. That's what they're like. I grew up in Jersey, and it's like, this is what they're like.
They do a good job,
They
though.
think they're the real Romans. Like, like they don't know how much they're despised by the rest of the world, including Italy.
They have a episode where they go to Italy, and there's this funny moment. Paulie, he wants what he calls gravy.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, can I just get some noodles and gravy?
Yeah.
And they're like, what? And then someone translates they want noodles with like American marinara sauce. And the waiter kind of rolls his eyes. And then the 2 Italian gangsters look at each other, and it's translated for us, of course, but they say to each other, and we thought the Germans were classless pieces of shit. I'm like, damn.
That's fun.
Dude. And the whole episode, Paulie is saying Commandadori because he thinks that's what Italian people say to each other.
Yeah.
And they're all like, shut the fuck up. Like, do I know you?
Yeah.
And then at the end of the episode, he's like, I loved being at the motherland. You know what I mean? So I will say, though, because, people on the internet, they grouse about, oh, Americans are obsessed with their lineage, right? They say, I'm Italian. They've never been to Italy. Some people in my position would say I'm Irish.
I went to school in Boston. It's a lot of people of Irish descent who take extraordinary pride in a place they've never been to and have no real connection to.
I've never felt that way. And what I will say, anytime I've talked to it, literally without exception, if I've talked to a person from Ireland, I never bring it up. Eventually, they say, well, you're Irish.
Well, it's easy. You don't have to bring it up because,
Right.
like, if someone's like, Black Irish, people might not know.
Yeah.
So you have to bring it up, but you can just go anywhere and people are like, you're probably Irish of Irish descent.
Yeah. Black Irish, they listen to bagpipes on their phone on the train.
Yeah, that's fine.
I actually had to correct somebody that I work with about what Black Irish was.
Oh, yeah?
Because Black Irish actually comes from the Spaniards briefly invaded Ireland. Spaniards are less white than Irish people, who are the most white, right? Spaniards themselves are less white because at one point they were invaded by, Morocco,
Yeah.
right? So it's basically like if you see an Irish person and they have brown eyes and brown hair,
Yeah.
there's some Morocco in there. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I remember there was this girl I work with, and she was really nice, but like, much like you said, that Texas man wasn't the most educated. She goes, Black Irish, because all the Africans raped the Irish people. And I was like,
so you got the gist of it?
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I
It wasn't all
churched
of
it
it,
up
yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way you said it, I'm like, well, hey, we live in a country where like black men were like falsely accused of raping white women. So
except for you think they're all properly guilty, because why would they have been convicted otherwise, right?
yeah.
You
Adnan did
still
it.
think Emmett Till?
Yeah.
God, when he was coming.
I actually do think some of the racial politics now
Yeah.
has helped Adnan, a guy who almost certainly did it.
Okay.
Like, I do think like the pendulum in some circumstances can swing in the other direction, where if you're a defendant, you want to be a person of color.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's also just fundamentally how pendulums work.
Yeah.
Is they do have to swing in the other direction.
Mm-hmm. They
Otherwise,
can't just
it's not
go
a
one, unless they go all the way around.
Is that still a pendulum?
Yeah.
I guess it would be. A pendulum can do
It's
full
it's
360.
a malfunctioning pendulum. And if your pendulum is malfunctioning, you got to stop using that as a metaphor. It's too confusing. Right? But yeah, Irish people, they tell me
I feel
I'm
sorry
Irish
for
all
them
the time.
because they have to produce the show, and they just like, do they listen to us and care, or are they just like watching the mic levels and just being like, because if I was them, I would not be listening to us right now.
I have caught Maxim not listening one time, and
Do you ever do a pop quiz? Like, what did I just talk about?
what I just say, Maxim? No, he's a good man. We don't say it enough.
I know, but that's because I pointed it out to you, but
Yeah.
you're going to go back to your phone or whatever. That's what I would do. I'm bad at every job I would ever do. So if I was a producer, I would be terrible at it.
Dude, I love not being near my phone.
Yeah, you make a big point of that. Like, you think you're better than other people.
I think I'm better than people that almost walk into traffic because they're texting and walking at the same time. Yes.
That's cool. I just saw a thing about this random was like, it said like a woman said like it was like one of those true crime things on YouTube, and the caption, like the bubble was like a woman was like mom texting while child drowned in bathtub or whatever. And I was like, man, women are good multitaskers. Because I could only do one of those things at a time, I think.
Not that you know what raising a kid is like.
No, not my thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. I guess Adnan's. I don't know enough. I don't remember enough about the particularities to think.
It's one of those things. You know how I used to feel before I listened to and I think it's good that this podcast exists. You listen to Serial, which kind of leans toward he's innocent.
Yeah.
The prosecutors, they're kind of impartial until the last episode.
Yeah.
I think it's good to listen to both. Before I listened to the prosecutors podcast, I was like, I think he's guilty in reality, but not guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I actually think that's most people that get convicted when they shouldn't have been convicted.
Yeah.
Is that they probably did it, but
you shouldn't have been.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The one thing they bring up, because it's basically the facts of the case, it's either Adnan or his friend Jay. It couldn't have been another person.
Okay.
And Jay is an imperfect witness.
Okay.
Like, he's a low-level drug dealer, and I think after the trial had some domestic violence things. Please Google me on that. Don't sue me, Jay. But in the podcast, they're like, in most cooperating witnesses are at least low-level criminals, or at least like kind of a scumbag. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it kind of impossible, because like, who's gonna be around for, say, a drug deal gone wrong? Granny? Granny's almost certainly gonna be inside, you know? But yeah. But it's one of those things, like, either Jay did it, but why would Jay kill a woman that he doesn't know or barely knows?
Yeah.
Versus, why would the guy kill someone that just dumped him for another man?
Yeah.
You know? Kind of Occam's razor with some of this shit, which I get is not beyond reasonable doubt. But like, if you put a gun to my head and said who did it and who didn't, I would say none. Right?
Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe should we be a true crime podcast? Be honest.
What if we? I guess we could. We'd have to find a cool angle on it.
Yeah.
Like pro crime or something. Like
Mhm.
something like be like, oh, I hope they never find this girl. How about that?
Ooh, okay.
Like pro helping people get away with it.
And it's otherwise like a pretty mainstream
Yeah.
But like we just have that. We're gonna rage bait it.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like, they never found her body. Parentheses.
Like,
And
woo!
I'm glad. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you listen to podcasts? Be honest.
Yes, I do.
What kind of podcasts you been listening to?
Audio.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, I'm a big sound
Goddamn.
guy. No, I listen to a lot of just comedy ones
Mhm.
here and there. I just want to hear people. I'm tired of I don't want to listen to people. I don't want to be informed about anything.
Okay.
I just want to hear funny stuff. That's it.
I
At my
see.
old age, I don't need to take in new information. or learn
Okay.
things.
That's a very healthy attitude to have.
I think it's a mature attitude.
Yeah.
I said I refuse to listen to new music.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, I've heard all the music I'm gonna like.
Mm-hmm.
There's not gonna be anything new. I'm gonna be like, oh, that's good. It's
Yeah.
just not for me.
Mm.
Which, by the way, is bad bar trivia. Every time it's a music category, it's always like anything after 2000. Like I have no idea
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, the question last night was like, what song was second for like 10 weeks on the chart? At the time when Eminem "Lose Yourself" was number 1 on the chart or something like that.
Ooh. Oh, I have no idea.
It was what's the name? It was Missy Elliott.
Ooh, Missy Elliott.
The whatever they can reverse it. I don't know what that's a song called.
Mm-hmm.
That song.
It's your flippin' day, yeah. It's your flippin' day, yeah. She's very cool. She has a place in my heart because in the early aughts or maybe the late 90s, doesn't matter. 50 Cent, before he was super famous, he had a song called "How to Rob," and it's a cheeky song, if I may say so myself. Basically, he's like, all of these rappers and R&B singers in the industry, I'm gonna rob them. And it's like funny. It's basically like he's kind of doing a roast joke for each person.
Yeah.
You know, and when he gets to Missy Elliott, he says, "Get on the ground, stop fooling around, put the hot dog down." It's just a fat joke.
Just a fat joke,
And
yeah.
apparently Missy Elliott was like, "That's funny. I like this 50 Cent guy." Because
Okay.
it got mixed reviews. Some people were like, "Hey, come on,"
Yeah.
you know, like Big Pun. He was over 700 pounds and at 5'7". I
Was
don't know
he?
why I said his height, as if you could be any height and not be obese at 700 pounds.
I feel like 7'6",
I don't know.
and
6'7" maybe. I don't know.
what is that? What the fuck is going on? We should just murder children. I don't know what's going on, but I hate this.
I like 6'7", and South Park recently did an episode about it. Okay, so and this is a very brief and elder millennial understanding of the 6'7" meme. So correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm sure I'm being millennial cringe right now. But there's a song where the rapper says 6'7" at some point, and then that song became a popular song to use in people's TikToks. And now it's basically used. I think it's Gen Alpha Rickroll. You familiar with
Yes.
Rickrolling? If for those that don't know, basically, when we were growing up, you would trick someone into clicking a link that was "I'm never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down," and the humor is like, "Ah, you got me." That's kind of what 6'7" is. Is that you go, you're like, "Oh, what time did you eat dinner last night?" You're like, "Oh, I don't know, probably around 6-7," you know, and you got to do this because the whole thing is it's like it's 6 or 7. So this hand motion, the up and down, could go either way. Is very important. So a lot of it is like, "Oh, you thought we were having a
So the
serious
other day when I was like, "Hey, what's your ideal girlfriend age?"
conversation." Yeah,
You were just doing the meme.
exactly.
Okay.
Oh, years younger, about 6-7. See, turned it around.
That's, I was gonna say, yeah, I guess it's not creepy for you because you're old.
Yeah.
You're 30. First I was like, oh no, that still doesn't work.
Yeah,
6, 7 years.
yeah. But life is good, man. I really can't complain.
How old's your girlfriend?
She is 32
Hell yeah.
and I'm 35, so it's very problematic.
creepy. Yeah.
Because I don't even think her brain's fully formed yet. I think women online, they're very passionate about this, that women's brains aren't fully formed until I want to say 58.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the pussies are finished by like 18.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know what God was doing with women.
That's actually,
He made their tits and pussies like work pretty early on.
I remember when Patrice O'Neal died.
I do too.
And I was in college. And people knew I liked comedy. I wasn't a comedian yet. And I was like, "Hey guys," this is how long ago it was. I'm like, "We have cable in the common area of the dorm room. Comedy Central is definitely going to show his special earlier, over and over,
Yeah.
because he died today."
Yeah.
And like kind of a mixed group of people, some girls, right? And I almost felt, and this is like dumb, you know, however old I was, 19, 20, dumb, like kid brain where I was like, I'm introducing
Yeah.
women to this comedian.
Yeah.
This is culture.
Yeah.
Maybe I get my dick sucked from this, right?
Okay.
You know? So they're watching, and I'm going to butcher this, of course, but it's the first time I remember I'm like, oh, that's a misdirection, and I love this. This is the joke. And I ruined it by saying it's going to be a misdirection.
Wait, was it Elephant in the Room that you're watching? The special?
I don't
Or is one-
remember.
Okay.
This is the joke. He goes, women's sexual peak, like when they're at their horniest, is in their mid-30s, right? But which is ironic and unfortunate because a woman's vagina is only good for 18, 19 years. And I laugh. Most of the women in that room did not laugh, even though they were in peak vagina age.
Yeah. Did you try yourself? Guys, you understand? You guys are peak vagina age.
And I was like, oh, I forgot this is a boy comedian.
Next week, you try showing them a Maria Bamford special. We're not going to suck your dick, Bobby.
Yeah. I actually, the first time, I thought I was going to get lucky because I was a virgin when I was a freshman in college. Right?
Really? You're so cool smoking pot in middle school. How are you not drowning in pussy?
I actually had my first kiss kind of young, and then it was blue ball. Because I kissed my first girl, like heavy making out at 14.
Okay.
And then I didn't have sex until I was almost 21.
Okay.
That is a large gap.
I had my first kiss like in the same moment of losing my. It was like the same event.
That we couldn't be further apart, and that's better. That's better because
Well, no, because I was like 19, so it's weird to have like not had a like just have it all taken care of at once.
it's a little late, but also it's earlier than almost 21. So you were late to your first kiss, but on time to losing your virginity.
I was eating pussy right at the same. I was learning how to kiss both parts.
That's
at
awesome.
the same time.
From one pair of lips to the other.
Yeah. It's really just like I was.
First of
learning
all,
how to
you
curve.
ate pussy the first time you lost your virginity.
I don't know if I did. Maybe not the first time, but
Yeah.
somewhere thereabouts early on. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. That's interesting.
Well, it wasn't just like a one-time thing. Like she was my girlfriend. She became
Uh-huh.
a girlfriend, so it was like I had other opportunities.
Yeah. I think.
It's not like when you go to a buffet, it's like I'm gonna have everything. I was like, I can come back for dessert later. Is that a good analogy? I'm bad at analogies sometimes.
I mean, I have the 360 pendulum, so you're asking the wrong
That
guy.
might still be right.
So I'm a freshman in college, and I remember this is the mind state I had because it was kind of further into first semester.
Yeah.
I had it in my head. I'm like, I'm not a guy that gets laid in high school,
Yeah.
but everyone gets laid their first semester of college.
Yeah.
And then I started to learn that was wrong.
Everybody, you just do it. It's like everyone gets laid at their first job.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my pension's coming. I gotta get pussy now.
Everyone gets laid after their second parent's funeral. Huh? They're like, sir, please, the service is still going on.
No, someone please validate me.
So I remember going out and I was like, I'm just gonna drink.
Yeah.
No one's gonna fuck me for a while, and I've made peace for it. You know what I mean? I've made my peace with it.
You should write a book for a certain demographic of boy. That,
Yeah.
You're not gonna get laid. It's cool.
You know what it was? I just started lifting weights. People are like, it's not that simple.
And then you got strong enough to hold them down.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I fucking walked right into that, didn't I?
Yeah, sure did.
So freshman year, I go to a party. I'm like, I'm fucking drinking tonight. And then I'm going to chat with people. I'm going to chat with girls and guys, right? Interpret that how you want, folks.
It's like, oh God, I'm going to have to fuck a guy, I think.
Okay.
I really don't want to do it.
have to.
I don't want to do this, but this is what's going to happen, it seems.
So, dude, I go to this party, and it's a frat party. I know one of the guys somehow, and he's like, he likes me, and he was like, hey, I got a bottle here. Do as many shots as you want, right?
Okay.
And it's one of those things like you get beer, right? But you got to wait in line for beer. So
Yeah.
I'm like, this is my opportunity to kind of get the night going, right? And I'm, 19 and 130 pounds maybe, right? I have him pour me 6 shots and I do them in a row.
Yeah.
Bad idea, right? I do those 6 shots. Now I'm drinking a beer. He kind of thinks it's funny that a man with a boy's body is drinking this much, right? Whatever. I have my beer. Now I was like always been kind of gregarious, so I'm talking to different kinds of people. This girl comes up to me and she goes, Bobby, you know so-and-so, and introduces me to her friend who is a cute girl. And I found this out later, Elia, that this girl was like, can you introduce me to that skinny redhead? I'm interested.
Ooh.
It would have been helpful to know that information. It would have been helpful to know that, right? But actually, maybe it wouldn't have made a difference because I had already drank those 6 shots. We start chatting for long enough that it's like, oh, she is chatting at me with purpose. I'm making sense. She touches my forearm at some point. This is all very exciting.
Yeah.
Right. And as this is going on, I'm like, I did take 6 shots not that long ago. And I already start to feel like 6 shots for like an adult man, you know? Tony Soprano, I know I keep going back to it. He takes 6 shots right away. I'm sure he starts to feel something. I have a little boy's body, right? And I'm like, fuck, dude. Yeah. And I'm like, in my drunk brain, I'm like, I have to just keep it together long enough for when we're back at one of our dorms together. That's all I have to do, right? And she starts touching my forearm. I've never done this before. I touch her forearm. She doesn't pull her arm away.
Shake each other.
Yeah, we're shaking hands.
Like we are in league together.
I touch her forearm. She's touching my forearm. I kind of look at her for a little too long without saying anything. She does the same thing. I'm like, we're good. You know, I lean in. She makes a face like I'm accepting the lean in, right? We're good to go. I open my mouth, burp. And it's a burp. It's a burp that Maxim would be able to hear. And I apologize. She accepts my apologies. We talk for a couple more minutes. She finds an excuse to leave. And I didn't have sex for another 2 years. Doesn't that suck?
And you know, it's my favorite thing is because that's literally we have to end the show on that. Join us next time when Bobby tells us about the first time he got sex.